welcome to my pick a card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here today with a pick a card reading for you, so please pull up a chair, get cozy. We're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around my table. I want to welcome back my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. A big thank you to everybody who has followed me on Instagram. A big thank you to everyone who has reached out for a personal reading on Etsy. Both of those links are below as well. I love connecting with you and getting to know you more on a personal level, so I'm just really appreciative of all of the beautiful souls that I've been introduced to this year, even these last couple of years. You guys are amazing, so thank you so much for your support of me. Thank you so much for your trust in me as well. If you are stumbling upon the channel for the very first time, we would love to welcome you to our beautiful soul family here. Please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting your notification bell. I do pick a card readings here on this channel, and I do try to release at least 3 times a week, so be sure to check back for more content. And if you see something that, or you have a topic that you would like to see covered here on the Tarot Cottage, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. I love to hear your ideas as well, and that's actually a perfect way to enter my free tarot reading giveaway, because I do offer a chance for my subscribers to win a free tarot reading. And the only way, or the only thing you have to do is drop your comment below any of my readings this month with any comment. It can even be an emoji for your chance to win. You just have to be sure to hit your notification bell, because I do notify you via the comment section if you were chosen the winner, and I give you clear indications on how to reach out to me via one of my links below. So be sure not to get scammed by anybody posing as the Tarot Cottage. I would never send unsolicited DMs to anyone. I only have one Instagram account. I only have one TikTok account. I only have one YouTube channel. So be sure to protect yourselves against people who are trying to pose as the Tarot Cottage or other tarot related content. But for today's pick a card topic, we're looking at a topic on your mind, or a connection on your mind, and we're asking, is it time to move on? Should you wait? Should you move on from this connection? Is the connection over? Is there more to come? We'll put a bit of a trigger warning here because this is a very heavy topic, especially if this connection is really important to you. But we do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 here with the Messenger of Water and the Burgundy Rose. Pile number 2 with the Patience card, Temperance, and the Yellow Rose. Pile number 3 with the Queen of Earth and the Pink Rose. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting from your spirit team today. And I'm going to start with pile number 1. Again, today we're asking the question of spirit, is this connection over? Should you wait or should you move on? Pile number 1. Hi, pile 1. You were drawn to the Burgundy Rose. You were also drawn to the beautiful Page of Cups here, the Messenger of Water, and this is your reading. Should you wait or should you move on? Is there more to come in this connection, or is this connection over? Your guides, of course, want to give you advice based on your highest good, but they're going to follow you down whatever path you choose to take in this connection. Tarot just simply gives us a roadmap. It gives us sort of a prediction of what is to come so that we can make adjustments if necessary, so that we can move ourselves into the energy of abundance in whatever form that takes for us. So the Page of Cups here, first of all, I'm really noticing the pearls all over her, the pearls of wisdom. The Page of Cups has gone under the water to reference holding on and holding back here with the little seahorse. And they are actually referencing family. So there could be this reference to your family being a support system, or family being a heavy influence in your heart space, or a heavy influence in you when it comes to your love cycles as well. This could just also be about your pearls of wisdom and listening to the notes of intuition about holding on with this connection. This card can represent when your higher self pops in with a message for you, like an inspiration for you about this connection. So let's take a look here and see. Is there more to come here? Is it over? Should you wait or should you move on from this connection? Pile number 1. Using the Muse Tarot for you today. We have the 8 of Swords coming out as your first pull. We have the King of Wands. This is the Muse of Inspiration. And I feel like this person has definitely been your muse for a while, or thinking about this person a lot has influenced you heavily. We have the 10 of Cups. Your High Priestess. Really referencing those pearls of wisdom that you're drawing from in this moment. 9 of Pentacles. Back of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles here, and we have the 8 of Cups. Okay, so we're going to clarify as we go forward. in this reading. We're going to start with clarifying the Eight of Swords, please. Should pile number 1 wait or move on? Is there more to come in this connection? The Hanged Man. We have a lot going on here. The Devil, the Four of Wands, the Fool. I do feel like we need to pull those just as supports. We have the Magician. I feel as though you are almost overly compassionate to people. It's like you give people the benefit of the doubt well beyond it almost being a benefit to them or being a benefit to you. You're just you're a giving and a loving person. Five of Pentacles. But even someone with a really beautiful, loving spirit, their patience can run thin a little bit sometimes too. And it's because there's the Ten of Pentacles. Again, I've referenced to home and family. I think it's because of your compassionate heart that you're so intuitive. But I often say it's the kind of like Elsa's gift when we're dealing with a lot of emotional energy around the Queen of Cups. And I'm referencing the Queen of Cups because we have the Page of Cups here, but they're really highlighting you as the Queen of Cups, as this High Priestess, as somebody who's really tapped into your own intuition and into the feelings and emotions of other people. I feel like because you're so giving emotionally, sometimes you give too much of your love or too much of your emotion over to other people. It's like a sacrifice that you willingly give to people because you've got such a beautiful soul, which is so wonderful. They are really bringing my attention in this case to this connection, pile 1, to this muse of inspiration. And you can see how this person's heading towards this staircase up towards the moon. And they are highlighting the purpose or the function that this connection serves for you in your human journey, in your life at this time. And they know that there's an attachment here that it feels really scary to say, I'm going to move on from it. Even to say the words, perhaps. Even to just feel it in your heart. It's like it may feel really unnerving and feel really unnatural for you to be like, yeah, I'm closing the chapter, I'm going to move on. Because the emotional entanglement is still there. But they have to highlight how intelligent you are, both, in a practical sense and logically, but also emotionally intelligent, and how some of that emotional intelligence, again, you give so many people the benefit of the doubt. But this person's intention or purpose in your life may be the twin flame energy that's influencing you so heavily, that is acting as a muse to ask you to prepare for changes that are coming in your life. Because the Ten of Cups here is all about the full spectrum and how in the present moment you sort of have a full spectrum, or you have a lot of wisdom codes that you can utilize during this in-between period to apply here for a decision in this connection. And your guides are going to give you advice today, but they're not going to take that decision away from you. That is your autonomy. You get to make that. And they're going to walk with you and help you to draw out as many lessons as possible. But their job, because you've invited them into this space, is to highlight present opportunities, present energies. And in this moment, they do feel like because this person has sort of monopolized your focus, there is now a monopoly of energy. And so all of our energy may be focused on this person when the intention of this connection is to propel us towards what we truly want. This is the muse, this is the inspiration. But sometimes the inspiration inspires us in a limited way, or what would feel like a limited way. If you think about the most influential teachers in your life, some of them weren't always the best teachers, or they weren't always the kindest teachers. Some of them scared you, or some of them were heavy-handed. It's like there's a teaching element here to this connection and how you can apply the truth of your wisdom codes to this situation. Because your guides here feel you anchored. Your higher self specifically says that this person's anchored you in a limitation. And although you feel bruised and tattered, and they are not minimizing that. I feel very sad. I feel like I could cry, like feeling bruised and tattered, feeling really disappointed by their limitations. But they're also saying that this person has limitations of their own. They're on crutches. They're operating off of those crutches in this moment and hanging on to their own procrastination, their own obstacles for their own reasons. We can't micromanage their feelings, their emotions, their intentions. All we can do is decide how we're going to let them influence us and be the muse. And we can almost appreciate kind of what the wisdom codes that they bring in and the way that they influence our life. Even if, again, we're fearful to take a leap outside of it, we've gathered a lot of information from this connection. But now Spirit says that they know what your goals are. And they feel like your goals are towards family, commitment cycles, finding someone that actually makes you feel secure and makes you feel safe, because the divine feminine is seeking that. She wants to feel rooted. She wants to feel grounded so that she can sit and sink into her divine feminine energy and then just receive, you know, because she gives so much, to just receive. And so they see your goals. They know what your goals are. And so they're trying to highlight in this moment some of the ways in which the person that you're focused upon, the ways that they've disappointed you, the ways in which you don't feel emotionally supported right now, because they're trying to show you that contrast or bring it to the surface because you already have that available to you, and reframe it in a way that you'll apply it in your life, because you deserve better than what you're receiving now. You deserve to be in free flow. This little seahorse is not attached to anything. It's not attached to seaweed. It's not attached to anything in this moment. And so even here with the burgundy flower, I just feel like a burnout in you, an emotional burnout. And now, like, they're showing me this Knight of Pentacles, but they're kind of showing it to me in the form of Nicole Kidman in those pictures that got released right after she divorced Tom Cruise, like the day she divorced him, and she walked out and she was like, there was a freedom in her. And from what I've gathered from their story, there was actual love there. And yet, even though there's an intense love, and she was blindsided by his desire for a divorce, but even though there was intense love, she still felt freedom in that moment. And so there's an aspect here of your guides saying to you that claiming your independence is actually inching you closer and closer to the community that you're actually looking for, and the support systems and the ashrams that are going to support you in life. Because there's a distinctive difference between this muse of inspiration, the two energies looking down at him, moving us through a cycle, a part of your plan, a part of your destiny, so to speak, but the free will operating within the dynamics of this connection says that it's acting as a muse now. But you're heading towards this. You're heading towards the King of Pentacles, the muse of materials. And in this beautiful gateway, there doesn't seem to be as many distractions. There's the pyramid in the distraction here as a hurdle, but with the King of Pentacles, we're going to the sunset. We're going to where we want to end up, towards commitment cycles. I feel that you are going to be moving into a commitment cycle with somebody very, very dependable, who is almost the exact opposite of how this person makes you feel when you're feeling limited. But there is a reminder here, again, with the Eight of Cups. This is about walking away so that we can find the solutions, find commitment cycles. They do feel like closing out this current cycle will bring you closer and closer towards your destiny and towards your commitment cycles as well. They also want to remind you again that you reap what you sow. So the Six of Pentacles says, you know, a beggar can't give us anything. It's like if we're both down here, the blind is leading the blind. And so we can't give anything if we're down here too. And so ultimately, claiming your independence is going to actually be helpful for everyone involved in this situation. But they understand that this is a situation where your heart has to prepare for that you don't feel ready in that moment. So your higher self is just stepping forward to ask you to fill your own cup up. There she is again. And there's the Tower. Listening to your Page of Cups, the momentum is telling us that there may not be more to come. Or in the very least, even if there is more to come from this person, it could be an attachment that's no longer good for us, that we might have to face our fear and release so that we can have the desires of our heart. It's like once we sort of appreciate where we're at in the present moment, it's like God opens up and gives us the desires of our heart. So your guides are indicating that this cycle may be necessary for you to let it go, to let it come to a close, because it's just keeping you limited. We have here, trust in your instincts to guide you through the situation, and it's time to dig in and see it through to completion. And the completion here is your perseverance towards your own goals. How hungry are you for your own success and your own abundance? And with discernment on the back of the deck, it says look beyond the immediate appearances of things, because in the immediate appearance of things, it feels very limited. It feels very stuck. You feel like this. But the Eight of Swords, but what your guides, your higher self is trying to show you is the Ten of Cups. They're trying to show you where your empowerment is laying and how you need to call that empowerment back to create the abundance that you deserve. And you're still learning and you're still growing, but they're just so proud of where you are in this moment. And they're really proud of the wisdom codes that you've developed. So looking beyond the immediate appearances of the frustration and the sadness, to see the full frame, to see the full picture of what is actually waiting for you in the future. And they're highlighting the sun and clarity and enlightenment that comes in with this new environment, where you can shine that light over here on all of this history and be able to see where the limitations were eventually, being able to see their restrictions and how they applied them in this connection, and having a deeper understanding and more peace about the whole attachment in the first place. You are going to succeed and bloom wherever you are planted. Abundance is assured to you. It says, journey into the garden to escape the two eternities, the past and the future. And staying present is where all the clarity is. The problem is that when we have clarity shining on us, we are sometimes triggered by that clarity because we don't often want to see it, especially if, again, our hearts are set in one place. It's time to discover and look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. And it's time to go looking for something that is going to be more abundant and more supportive in the future. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1, please. Advice for pile number 1 in the pool. We have the Page of Pentacles here. We have the King of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Lots of Taurus energy here as well today. With the Hierophant, with the, well, Hierophant is here twice as well. So we do have this energy with the Page of Pentacles about opportunity that maybe we're not even 100% ready to let go of in this present moment. They're talking about kind of like I don't want to say like a troublemaker that comes into to affect your spiritual education. Like this person kind of comes in as a troublemaker, but Spirit's like, we don't let anything go to waste, so we're going to use it as a muse instead in this moment. They're actually having an issue with their education. And we can't control their education. We can't control their inspiration and how they apply it to themselves. They're having an issue with the opportunity that this beautiful connection with you has presented for them. And that's their circus, that's their monkeys. We can't control that. This has brought you to a crossroads of the Hierophant. We've seen it multiple times in your reading. And this is all about two people on a journey. Again, twin flame energy that can lead to attachment and codependency. So ultimately, they have a choice on how they're going to apply themselves, and you ultimately have the choice too, and your guides aren't going to take that choice from you. They're simply highlighting some of the wisdom codes and truth that you may already have available to you at this time. Pineapple. Even if you're not ready to release, Spirit says it's almost like spreading yourself around a little bit with the pineapple. They're talking about swinging energy, shamanic feather, and being lured into healing. You can see that the mermaid is seated. She doesn't even want to take that leap of faith because there's this cassette that's rolling around in our mind over and over again. We do have here the triangle. It's black triangle. I sometimes think of third party as an obstacle here. So Spirit's trying to spoon feed us information about obstacles in this moment. We have C, Q, and D. We have be very gentle with yourself in this moment and understand that nothing ever truly comes to an end. It just changes shape. It just changes the container that it's in. So there's a sense of you always carrying this experience, this person in your heart space, but you can also carry it with you and see it in a new light in the future. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. I'm praying for you. And if you would like to be entered for your chance to win a free reading, please drop your comment below and hit your notification bell. I also offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below as well. And I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You are drawn to the yellow flower. You're also drawn to patience, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, should you wait? Should you move on? Is this connection over? What is the advice from your guides today? So the Patience card, Temperance, you could have been waiting a while already. This could also be an indication of you continuing to wait. She's leaning up against this pillar, and I just heard the term pillar of strength. So it's like maybe you have the endurance, maybe you have the stamina, and she's pointing at her heart. There's like a loyalty here almost. It's almost like they're showing me those old pictures of Jesus where he's pointing at his heart that's covered in thorns. So it's like this has been, again, something that has lingered with you. It has been a painful experience, but also a very intense emotional experience that maybe you wouldn't even trade necessarily, because it feels like almost like a willing sacrifice that you've made in this delay. So let's take a look here. We're going to use the Golden Tarot for you to begin. Should you wait or move on from this connection? Is this connection over? We have the High Priestess coming first for you. We have the Judgment. We have the Fool. I'm getting the term, and these old movies, I'm getting the term earnest, scared, stupid. I don't know if you remember the Ernest movies from way back in the day. Ernest, scared, stupid specifically coming forward here. Now this could be in reference to you being really scared to let go, or this person being really fearful. But it's also connected to loyalty in some way. We have the Chariot. So somebody who's afraid to take a leap of faith to maybe towards you because of an aspect of loyalty. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles, and we do have the Four of Pentacles. Now, the truth is that Spirit doesn't necessarily feel like you are ready to let go. And that's obviously your prerogative in this moment. So you may not feel ready to let go at all. You may kind of feel like maybe you should let go, but you don't feel ready to let go in this moment. You have the Empress reversed. But your guides do, and even here with the Judgment, they kept focusing me here on this timepiece in the center, surrounded by all of these flowers, these roses. The roses have thorns on them, so they're talking about the thorns amidst the roses in this timing. So it's been a while, and it's like we're referencing a lot. We're going over and over in our mind the reality of this. And it is very restrictive. Even around the Judgment's head, there's all of these swords. There's 8 of them. So it makes me think of the 8 of Swords, and it feels very restrictive. But it's like I don't want to let go. It's like, again, I'm not ready to in this moment. It's like maybe I know that I will or I should, but I'm still holding space at this time. But now they're referencing over here how the horse on the Knight of Pentacles, who's very slow moving, he's the slowest moving knight, how the horse is either hesitating or he's looking back at his rider for direction, because ultimately this is slow moving momentum in your future in this connection as well. And it could be connected to your partner, or not your partner, but this person on your mind being in a commitment cycle or having other responsibilities that they're focused on at this time, which are going to take time to play out. You have the Three of Pentacles. They do say that there's a feeling of like this connection being the one that got away, or you feel like you were the one that got away from this person. It's a heavy influence in this moment. It's like you can pinpoint moments where things went wrong. You can pinpoint the day, the time, the moment when everything went south in this connection. And it could have went south because we were just too fearful to take a leap or something. Like they just said earnest, scared, stupid again. It's like, and so now we're reeling from that lesson. And the lesson's more in control of us than our emotions are kind of taking over. I will say this, I do feel like there is aspects where you're looking at them online, maybe trying to communicate with them, or there's this desire to communicate online at this time. I feel like there could still be communication that you're trying to bring forward towards this person. And this is where I feel like they're getting tempted to reach back out, but there's a huge temptation here. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. I think there's going to be more communication, if I'm honest with you, but I still feel like that communication is going to be very delayed. And Spirit says that even with the admission that there's going to be more communication, that might just be the message you need to hold on. But they also said that you sort of came into the reading today with this feeling of like, I'm not ready to let go anyway. It's like, maybe I'll listen to my guides, or I want to hear it from straight from the horse's mouth, but I'm not going to be ready to apply that lesson in this moment. And the truth is that when we're pulled towards a message like that, when we're pulled towards our guide's message, it's like we are already holding that wisdom code inside of us. We're already holding on to that message. We're already holding on to that truth because of the way it makes us feel inside. And when the Empress is reversed, she's not feeling good. She's just feeling, again, anxious. And I hear the heart wants what the heart wants. But and ultimately, again, I feel like eventually there's going to be some type of communication that comes on. It could be instigated by the Divine Feminine. But I still feel like there's going to be a significant delay. So they're even highlighting here the Nine of Pentacles. There's the Chariot, but here's the Nine of Pentacles again, which is a claim to independence. It does ask us to try to eliminate the distractions that's stopping us from claiming that true power. Because the Nine of Pentacles is a great position to be in, but when we feel like the Nine of Pentacles, then we feel like we're secure. We feel like we're arrived. We feel like we don't need anything to complete us. We want things that are abundant, that make us even better, but we don't feel like there's anything that has to come in to complete the process or complete our happiness in any way. That's when we feel like we've actually arrived. And in this moment here at the Four of Pentacles, they say that we're sort of still in the in-between. We're still in the in-between of making the choice. We're still in the in-between, maybe even when it comes to partnerships. So they say that you're not ready to release in this time. They say that communication will come in, but again, temperance is a part of this journey. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving momentum. So I feel like you will be tested a little bit in your independent resolve when this communication comes in. I feel like by the time it comes in, you're going to be feeling more secure in yourself, more secure in your position. You could even be in a position that's very enviable, that you're very happy in when this communication comes in. So the connection doesn't feel over. It's definitely not over for the Divine Feminine or whoever energy is represented by this beautiful Empress. The communication cycle may not be completely over, but there's still this decision that has to be made when that communication opens up, because I feel like there's a very strong emphasis on you being in a secure place when that happens. So the purpose and the function of the tarot reading is to give you all of the information so that you have it available for you to make important decisions about where you want to go in this connection in the future. And Spirit says, again, you have time, at least 2 years for someone watching, at least 2 years. You have time to reflect upon, in what ways does this connection limit me? Or my focus on this connection limit me? How can I bring myself back into balance? They're highlighting taking even this next year to really reflect upon, how can I bring myself back into balance? How can I work on myself? How can I claim my independence? How can I deal with any blockages in any of my chakras or any health issues that I may have this year? Because they're just talking about you getting your ducks in a row. And they're trying to get those ducks in the row so that there's an easy transition when this opportunity does pop up for you. Now, as I say, they're not going to make that choice for you. They're not going to scold you if you go down the direction that they feel like is not in alignment with your highest self. They simply were going to help you pull out as many lessons as possible from that journey, from that pathway. This came out in pile 1, trust your instincts to guide you through this situation. And pile 1 was very heavy on the messages from the High Priestess, which came out of the gate for you first. So really listening to the way that you feel inside is your intuition. You know, like you're strong, you're this pillar of strength. Justice is it's almost a theme for you. And it's like, I want the truth. It's like, I want the truth, or I want the answers. It's like, I want to hold on till I get those answers. But the Empress is in reverse. So when we start to trust our intuition and we look at how we're actually feeling inside, there's something gnawing at our abundance here, which limit us. But it almost feels like a devotion, like they're showing me like Elvis Presley and like the Church of Elvis. And this could be a reference to like maybe how they look or what they sound like or something, but it's like we took Elvis and we turned him into a religion. So they're talking about this connection, taking a person and turning them into our focus, turning them into our religion. I'm hearing that song Black Velvet by Lana Miles. It says, dig in and see it through. You know who you really are with illusions, separating illusions. You always have the choice. And follies. It says, the wise fool, accept your follies and find the teaching in them. So ultimately, again, the freedom of choice. The horse is rearing back, looking at his rider, asking us, what are you going to do with this opportunity? Are you going to take a leap of faith? because you have time to discern. The dragonfly is asking you to be hungry for you, be hungry for your success. And this may require a change of approach or a change of directions ultimately. Back of deck says, look beyond the immediate appearances of things to see the discernment and the truth, and looking beyond what is present for us right now so we can see the full picture. Giving ourselves the benefit here to claim our independence, at least for now, until this communication comes in where we get to make a different decision based on a different perspective, because you'll be in a different place. You'll be feeling different. This Nine of Pentacles is a complete contrast to the Empress in the reverse. So by the time the communication comes in and you have this decision to make, you're going to be feeling more of yourself. You're going to be feeling powerful and abundant and secure in whatever situation you're in. Whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship at that time, you're going to be feeling good about where you're sitting. And that's going to change how you apply yourself to that opportunity at that time. If that information or if that confirmation or communication came in right now, you perhaps would be in a place of imbalance where it would be more difficult for you to make a decision based on your highest good. And that could be one of the reasons why Spirit's asking you to look beyond with discernment, because there's always a reason and a season for everything in your life. And in this moment, if this person is not in a physical way in your life, that means Spirit wants us to embrace that in between, to reflect upon what we need to gain, how we need to feel in order to propel ourselves into something abundant or more abundant. But of course, they're going to walk with you no matter what you choose to do. You may choose to close it off now. You may choose to jump back into it or try to jump back into it when this opportunity presents itself. But their message for you is to stay present. This came out in pile 1 as well. There could be a message waiting for you there. Journey into the garden to escape the two eternities, the past and the future. Enjoy, make time for yourself, make time for little things today. They're showing the hummingbird, taking a moment to sort of stop and invest in your balance at this time. Back of the decks, be present, use the hours, but don't count them. As I said, pile 2, this doesn't feel over. I do feel that there's going to be some type of conversation that comes in the future, but the delay is going to be, it's a perfect platform for you to reflect upon anything that's happening for you now that's being influenced by this connection. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. Page of Swords reversed. Oh, we're knocking them out of the bowl. 8 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles. So the 2 of Pentacles is indicating sort of a temporary pause on execution. While it's like everything's out of balance, everything's kind of juggled, and I'm confused about everything. Even the Page of Swords reversed, they are talking about kind of retreating a little bit. Because in this moment, there's a weakness in you. If they come forward right this moment, there's a weakness. They are, I feel like, your weakness. And so if there are weakness, it's hard for us to put ourselves first, because it's like we'll just want to prioritize the connection. They are talking here about using, there's going to be a benchmark of opportunity that comes in, but using this moment as well as a benchmark of opportunity to bring ourselves back into balance so we can start gathering the wisdom codes that are available to us in this connection at this time. We have U and P. And I'm hearing that song by Shania Twain, Up, 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 can only go up from here. We have the hanger. I do think about suspension and letting clothes dry. They just showed me like wet clothes dripping. So when things are, when clothes are saturated, they're very heavy. It's difficult. So even in this delay, it's very difficult because there's a lot of emotion wrapped around it. But they're asking us to let it dry. We have Leo energy coming in. We do have emphasis on family energy coming through with the seahorse as well. That could be part of the distraction or obstacles, whatever is holding us back. We didn't really focus on that in this reading, but there's something, could be positions that do hold both of you back at this time. We do have the Star of Aquarius. It is black. It does speak of depression and losses, so there could even be like experiences of death that you've experienced in the past as well that you're still healing from, and that's why you don't have the stamina or the readiness to release something else. We have the High Priestess, and there's a hole in the shell. So it's like wisdom codes, secrets that have already leaked out that we already have access to about this yin-yang connection. Oops, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. And I'm praying for you. Please drop your comments below for your chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. And I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, number 3, you are drawn to the pink flower, and you're also drawn to the Queen of Pentacles, and this is your reading. Should you wait or should you move on? Is this connection over? Some advice from your guides today. Now, this beautiful Queen of Pentacles, first of all, as soon as I saw her, and after I paired it with the yellow or the pink flower, there seemed to be a bit of a contrast here between the earthy queen and this pink flower, because this is representing the heart space. And usually, you know, the Queen of Pentacles, she embodies the Queen of Cups, so she has a beautiful, loving heart, but she feels secure in herself, or she should. Like, this is a feeling about you being perfection, like you being abundance, and maybe not seeing it, because maybe you're focused here on this heart, focused here on this little butterfly. There's something here about you being abundant and you being a prize, and how like the energies between the two of you should almost be flipped, because it's like you may be feeling like this connection is almost like creating a barrier. It's like it's holding you back from other things, or holding you back from fully investing emotionally in other things. And yet you're the prize here. Spirit's like, you're actually the prize in this situation. Sometimes the Queen of Pentacles can encourage us to claim our independence, but we will see about that. So let's take a look here. Should you wait or should you move on? Is this connection over for pile number 3? I'm going to be using, I think this deck is called like the Art of Tarot. I don't know. I got it a long time ago. This is my very first tarot deck. So I don't have the box or anything anymore. I don't have the guidebook. I have nothing. But I think it's called like the Art. I know it's by Liz Dean, but I don't know exactly what the deck is called. So if you do know what this deck is called, please let me know in the comment section below. Should pile number 3 wait or move on, please? From the connection on their mind, is this connection over? We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Back of the deck, we have the 4 of Cups, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. Now, what I love about this, truthfully about your reading, is that I feel like there's this glow up for you. Maybe you're in the middle of a glow up right now, or you're about to have a huge glow up in this in-between phase. So it's like nothing is going to go to waste, even if you feel like you're in this in-between where you're not in contact with this person, but we're not quite sure if it's over yet. Spirit says you're in for this glow up. There's like things about you that you're working on, or that you're going to be working on. This could be with your physical body. This could be with your eating habits. This is just you perhaps even claiming some type of independence, where you're really embodying this energy, like really embodying a transformation that you're working hard for. And it could be motivated by feeling kind of ignored here. Like you could be kind of and I think you should be motivated in that way, because Spirit says like if feeling ignored makes you feel angry, it means that you know that you're important and you know that you're valuable, and sort of speaks to like an anger, almost from like your inner child of like, I will not be ignored, because maybe you were ignored when you were young. And so this speaks to it almost a deeper wound when this person ignores you, or when other people overlook you in love or in other situations. It really brings you back to a different place, and you're not in that place anymore. You are abundance manifested. Spirit says you could stop traffic, for goodness sakes. But when people ignore you, it triggers a response in you, and it makes you almost want to dig in and prove them wrong, or dig in and prove that they're going to regret it in some way too. I don't feel already from this spread, and I'm going to get some clarifying cards here, but this is my answer, and the rest of the cards are coming up as supports. I don't feel it's over, if I'm honest with you. But the thing is that I'm interested to see what the supports come in, because I feel like you're a powerful person. And I feel like even if you were kind of faking it before you make it to reach this place of power and security and independence, you're going to get there. Even if you're just faking it right now, you're going to get to that actual place where it's going to become, it's almost like you get to a place of security, and then this whole situation's kind of boring. It's like, this bores me. It's like, this is dull. This is not exciting. This is boring. Yeah, there you are again. Beautiful Venus energy. You could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. We have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Cups. And this could have been like a very undefined connection for you as well. Like maybe it was friends with benefits, or maybe it was just friends and we were sort of flirting a lot, or maybe we were just having fun with each other. But there's something about you that's so different. And this, I feel like you could even be culturally different from this person, or have a different religion or something like that, be from different parts of the world. But that's not really the focus of the story. The truth is that you're different. You're different. And I feel like you come to realize that through experiences like this, because you claw yourself back up to that dependence on, or that independence. You claw yourself right back up to it. Two of Wands. I don't think this connection is over, pile 3. I feel like they are going to reach out to you online, and they're going to be like they're just going to be like offering you things and being very complimentary and just trying to act right. And they're going to try to act like the knight in shining armor. You have the Five of Cups. But now I'm hearing that song by JoJo. It's just a little too late. Like it might be a little too late for you. It might be a little too late for you. There's a feeling about them reaching out to you online and making plans, but they don't solidify the plan. It's almost like they reach out to try to feel out the energy, because there is a turn of events that's in your favor where there's reunions that are coming in with this person. But I feel like there's obstacles now, and I feel like the obstacle is your attitude or your desires for this situation. Because it feels like there's a lot of regret that comes in, because first of all, you're feeling good, you're looking good, you're doing good by the time they reach out to you. It doesn't feel like it's coming in very, like, I don't think you're gonna have to wait very long before this person reaches out. It could only be maybe a couple of months perhaps, for some, because I'm reading for the collective. It doesn't feel like it's far off that their regret sets in. I also feel like they're currently planning on reaching out to you, but I feel like they're a little bit intimidated, maybe the timing, or they know that they were, in the very least, it's like they're talking about stubbornness and acting like a jackass in the past. And even my light is now flickering. I feel like it's going to go out. It looks like it's going to go out. And I light my candles all at the same time. They are the same size candle. But it almost feels like it might be a little too late by that point. Ten of Wands. Back of the deck is the Seven of Cups, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to go in your favor, pile 3. Things are going to go in your favor because I feel like you have the upper hand when the communication opens up. And there's a sense here about not knowing what you're going to do with that upper hand. Having to balance out, having to make a decision, having an inability to commit. I feel like this person has an inability to commit, or they've shown that. And so it's really kind of helped you match that energy. Overall, it's like all of a sudden you're on the fence and you're like, well, I'm not really sure anymore. I'm not really sure. I'm feeling really good about myself. Things are going really well in my life. I'm not really sure anymore. And that could just be you trying to, again, regain that control. It's like there's almost, truthfully, it almost feels like parts of us, parts of our ego, because we want to feel justified after we feel ignored, it makes us angry. Parts of our ego almost want them to work for it, almost want them to beg for it. Beg for my attention then. It's like, you made me feel overlooked. You made me feel insecure. How dare you? I'm the Nine of Pentacles. I'm the Queen of Pentacles. I'm the Ten of Pentacles. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. So try to convince me. That's what it feels like coming in the future. There's going to be conversations. You're going to have the upper hand. I feel like there's going to be multiple conversations here too. Yeah. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. Here's the Seven of Swords and the World. They're going to come in with a lot of excuses too. I can't say that these excuses are going to be real or going to be 100% authentic. There definitely is a sense of like trying to gaslight the situation, not in a really violent way. You know, when I think of gaslighting, it feels like such a underhanded move, but it feels like they're just trying to minimize the vulnerability, trying to minimize maybe the wrath that they feel like they could be facing when they do reach out to you. What they're talking here about gaining mastery, working on things, having the option to work on things with this person in the future. But I do feel like they're asking you to really listen to the notes of your own intuition at that time and be really honest with yourself about the frustrating delays and gratification that have created or were created for you in this situation. But it's not over. This connection is not over. We'll ask God, actually, let's ask your guides, should you move on from this connection? And that's what they're saying. Because you have so much autonomy, because you are so independent, and because you're so capable, your guides they're sure that you'll be able to make the best decision possible for yourself. Yeah, there's the Hermit, Virgo energy coming through, and Justice, Ace of Wands. It's like you are the judge and you are the jury. So you'll get to weigh what type of punishment, so to speak, that you're going to be able to give this person or offer this person after this period of disconnect. You might be lenient with them. You may choose to, at that point, to be lenient with them and to give them a chance. But they're saying here that you're going to feel inspired by their desire to be in a relationship. You're being asked to look at things from every perspective so that you make the best choice possible for your highest good. And honestly, you may feel like it's a bit too late. You may give them another chance, but I feel like you're going to be very cautious and careful with your own energy, and you're going to really take small steps so that you can really, like, you're watching them. You're behind them. You're watching their steps. So you're taking small steps to decide if you actually want to steer this in the same direction as you did in the past. But it is not over. Pile 3. Immerse yourself at this time in artistic and creative expression. When we're sort of on the rocks, it's like we're sitting here on the rocks waiting. It feels very heavy. It feels like we have a hard time moving around. But they're saying that you are feeling inspired right now and get in the water. I feel like there's even a swimming reference. You could be swimming a lot more, maybe going to the gym or something. But immerse yourself in that. Immerse yourself in this glow up that Spirit feels you having. It says, go ahead and just do it. Productiveness. Now, they are speaking about a family-oriented creature, and they're speaking about you, so you could have goals towards commitment cycles in the future. But the beaver, it's a working element. The beaver puts in the effort. It's referencing this Eight of Pentacles, referencing their necessity to put in the effort to make sure that you are still on board, because I feel like, again, they're almost intimidated to come through, and they're going to try to stop at nothing to give you compliments, try to smooth things over. But again, my light went out. We have here, the situation calls for adaptability and innovation. I always think of the Ten of Wands with the monkey as well. So there's like a fear of the unknown. There's a weight on the world on our shoulders at this moment. I sometimes think of children too. Now, the Queen of Pentacles can be a mother figure, or that she could have the desire of that in her heart. So keep that as a reference. That could resonate with you if you are a parent. That could be one of the reasons why you're like, you know what, I'm very guarded of my energy. Or because you want to be a parent, you're like, this is not in alignment with that goal for me in this moment. We also have Lighten Up, the hummingbird. And I will say here too that if you've been waiting and you're feeling a certain way about it, it's like it's going to be day and night between one day and the next about how you're feeling. So it's like a sudden turn of events with the Wheel of Fortune, but it moves in your favor and you have the upper hand. So pay attention to the signs and the omens at this moment. They may be cautioning you for the future. And ultimately, you're like this owl. They're speaking about using your discernment, your wisdom, to be able to choose which path you want to take in the future. They say that I feel like you might give them a chance to prove themselves. Now, whether or not they are able to pull themselves up and prove themselves will be something to be observed. They have to adapt. They have to be innovative in order to kind of get back into your good graces. Twilight, surrender to the last hour when the light barely touches the flowers. So it's almost like in the nick of time, they slip back in. But surrender to the truth, surrender to the light, the lack of light, sometimes the lack of clarity, the feelings of being ignored. Surrender to the inspiration that you're feeling about kind of clawing back from your own vulnerability and moving into a place of independence. Time to retreat and never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. You had the Hermit coming out, lots of Virgo energy. Never underestimate the silence. In the silence, that's when our awakening happens. It's when we're silent and we're not talking, is when Spirit can speak to us. And listen, they say, be alert. The soft chiming bells will call to nearby fairies. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 3, please. Advice for pile number 3 in the bowl. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Yeah, there's going to be communication that comes in online, and it's going to be, they could try to be really flirty with you to try to get back or retrace their steps or get back what the two of you had or began. But I also, again, I feel like you're in control of that conversation. So if you want it to go in that realm, then you can let it go in that realm. Otherwise, Spirit says you might shut it down. I feel like you want proof. It's like you don't want just plans. You want proof in the pudding to prove to yourself that, or to have them prove to you that this isn't going to happen again. We have the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We have the Crown. They want you to straighten your crown. Remember who you are in this moment. We have X and H and V and M. And we also have here the A. And I just heard sisterhood. So you could be like clinging to girlfriends or really like claiming to your feminine energy or empowerment. We have wisdom codes here for the Divine Feminine, the curled shell. It says, I love you, reversed. And it doesn't necessarily feel like an overwhelming, like it feels like a lot of flirtation, a lot of desire, but maybe you're not feeling like you're in love in this moment, or you don't want to put all your eggs in that basket. They're also talking about how this person's operating off of like an emotional immaturity or a lack of experience, and that's what holds them back. We have the paperclip and the empowerment. It's like holding it together. That's what I just heard. I'm holding it together here. We have the Virgo energy again with the hermit shell. All right, loves. That's what I have for you today. If it resonates with you, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and that link is below. And I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. If it is empty, it means I've sold out for the day, but I do update it daily, so keep checking back. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.